Hi YouTube, my name is Gawd and you're watching Gawd Cafe. So today we're going to talk about being gay and spiritual and what that means. Now this topic is, a little it might be sentimental to a few of you guys watching this video, being that we all know that religion hasn't been that welcoming towards us. So to navigate what faith looks like for any individual who resonates being, whether you are gay, bisexual, pansexual, whatever you identify as that's not considered, maybe the norm in sexuality, and in terms of, sexual expression. It's becoming a lot more normal now. That's one thing we have to be happy about. Things are, normalizing a little bit more, but, there's still a few of us out there that may struggle with the idea of faith and spirituality. And, where one stands with this because of how, religion has painted a picture that, we have not been welcomed. And one thing I have to say is that there's a major difference, just one thing to lay out, there's a major difference. Look at that. The dark spirits are trying to stop me from talking. There's a major difference between spirituality and religion. Religion is governed spirituality, meaning there's structure, there's the Bible, there's a government form of spirituality. And some people, like this form of spirituality because perhaps they don't have an innate spiritual guidance. So, not to trash religion or anything of that nature, but you do with what resonates with you, right? So I've never found religion to resonate because of the government structures within it. Being told what to do, right? There's a difference between having a moral compass and then being flat out told what to do, as if you had no sense of thinking for yourself. Okay, so, and I know this video might be triggering, and it's okay. You keep it moving or keep listening. So with that said, I remember being younger as a gay man, just in the church, and I've always been extremely spiritual without realizing that that's what it's called. I've always been aware of this higher entity that I cannot see but feel, and it never left, or it has still have never left. And then I realized at one point, oh, this is the universe, the presence of the universe. God, like God always being here, like being able to speak openly, and to feel heard, is a beautiful thing. And I've always been able to have that. And I think it came to a point where I must have gotten older where I realized a lot of people don't. So I almost assumed everyone did, but a lot of people don't. A lot of us do, and a lot of us don't. That's why we're here for each other. This is why community is very important, because some of us may have strengths that the others that another doesn't. It's like, for example, I may have strengths in certain areas that you don't, and vice versa. I may have weaknesses that are your strengths, and this is why we cannot envy each other. We must come together and just understand our roles within the community, beyond just being gay, straight, bi, all that stuff. It's just a matter of coming to terms with what is, you know what I mean? Just coming to terms with what is, accepting it. You don't have to like it at first. We get over things as humans, so it's okay if you don't like it. But if you accept it, you will come into getting over it. But you just have to accept it, and it's okay if you don't like it while you accept it. Anyway, getting back to embracing, like this spirituality between being gay and not letting religion turn you off from exercising your connection to God. Please do not let that happen. And we see it a lot happen where one may think, what's the point? God doesn't even love me. And that's so sad to have as a perspective. Imagine, whether you are gay or not, just think about someone that you love who is, and just try to understand that perhaps this is an idea that they've had growing up because of how religion has painted out our existence, and whether we should be accepted or not, and Of course, we've seen that that is just beyond not true. Why would we even exist if everything's under God's creation? It's just so contradicting. And this is when I can dive into the idea of religion being government. Like it's a form of government that, you know, is controlled to an extent. Now that doesn't mean there's not good people who are religious, not at all. However, the lines are blurred because of this hierarchy energy, or this, like, the priest says is indefinite, or, you know, whatever the priest says, or the father, the pastor, all that stuff. Some people may hold a little too much idealism around these figures, causing them to over believe beyond in what God is, but now seeing someone as, you know, I guess their God in a weird way. And this could be, you know, this could lend itself to manipulation and all this form of stuff. And this is why we hear a lot of things like, you know, sometimes priesters, you know, a priest dealing with young ones and stuff like that is like the abuse of power in any regard isn't good. So with that said, why allow an opportunity for power to be abused and have your faith tied around it? I think I gathered that when I was younger, and I said I would not. What's the point of that? You guys are not welcoming me, and then this doesn't feel as freeing. And I always knew, like, religion must feel, there must be a sense of freeness. That doesn't mean you're not going to hear, you know, God come in and give you an accountability, but there needs to be a peace experience that doesn't have any friction of any sort. And friction can be caused by outside sources trying to constantly break your peace by telling you what to do. And sometimes when you are tapped into your spirituality, not letting outside forces dictate what you do, you have a clear intuition, and you know how to be properly guided by, you know, God and the universe. And that's why it's very important to exercise spirituality without having to lean on religion. Now, if you want to utilize the great aspects of religion, you can do so. And what I mean by great aspects to religion, it's kind of like when you do research and you have to filter out the bad information because you kind of know in your gut, like, it just, there's no facts to support it. So that's what you do with religion. You go ahead, you keep an open mind, but please look out for the egos in the past who have tainted the word of God. You think God directly gave us the book this century? No, it's been around for a while. So you don't think man has touched it and has tampered with it and adjusted things to their benefit? Let's think about the abuse of power and how long that's been around. So when you allow your faith to be guided by your individual connection to God without the influence of others, you can have a better understanding what to take, what to not accept, and accept in your ears from anything and anyone afterwards. And this is very crucial in order for you to have the most purest connection to God that you have ever felt before in your life. You will never have felt this closeness that you're about to feel once you let yourself really quiet down in the mind and try to really sense out what God is trying to tell you. And God will tell you things in a few ways and a few times. So, like, if you're not sure the first time, don't act on it. It's okay. Let your intuition get clearer for you. You will know. Things will get so obvious. It will be something that only you can explain because the whole experience is for you. No one else is there to validate that experience, and do not look for validation elsewhere for that individual experience that's meant for you. There's no one out here that can validate that experience for yourself. You need to just be happy that you're able to, you know, listen to yourself and feel protected and guided when you do so. And that's another thing. When you do listen to your intuition and it does feel like you're, you know, it's something that's true, that's on track, then you will know the difference. When you have too much clutter in your mind, you're thinking too much, there's no room to hear your intuition. All you hear is clutter in your brain. It's like looking for something in a messy room and there's shit everywhere and you're like, damn, but like, you know, it said it would be here, but where is it? There's shit everywhere. Rather than it, being in a certain place, then it becomes easier to find. So I feel like when the mind is doing too much, you cannot hear what God is trying to tell you. Therefore, you then result into urging for something outside of you to save you, whether it be church, a person, or whatever. So it's very important to quiet the mind and hit the reset button. Like, if you have to just, yes, you got problems, pretend you're just laying on the beach for just 5 seconds. Like, you deserve to feel this, right? 5 seconds on the beach, just feel the sun blazing on your skin. You know that feeling when the sun is just hitting it so much, it feels like the sun is hugging you? So just breathe and just think about the sun, hitting your eyes so much that you're able to see it through your eyelids. That's how sunny it is. Now, if you maintain that silence long enough, as much as you can, the answers that you seek will eventually come to you, because the information granted to your consciousness will blow you away. It's not something that you can even spring up on your own. This is how you'll know that you are also a co-creator, just like everyone else, and that you have connection to God. You're an extension of God. You're not God, but you're an extension of God. So you have godly power, You just kind of activate it without using God. It's like a dance. You constantly acknowledge upwards and let that connection build, and it's like you don't even have to speak out loud for things to start happening. There's this sort of internal telepathy type of prayer going on with the universe. And it's just beautiful, and I just want you all to experience it, and that's why I wanted to make a video about, this. And I know it could be controversial, because people might really be like, how can you say that about religion? But it's okay. That's okay. I'm pretty sure, like, what I said makes points, and if wants to get overly mad, it must hit a nerve of truth. And that's okay. We need a little controversy, I guess. Stream the video, talk shit about it, love it. I don't know, do what you want with it. Anyway, my name is Gawd, and this is Gawd Cafe. Until next time, please like, comment, and subscribe.